What's good, everybody? This is Brian J's Nerd Talk. What's up? And I just got done with my over here my third viewing of Dune Part 2, which is an absolute masterpiece. The film is absolutely incredible. It's just almost perfect in every way. And this is my spoiler review. So first thoughts on spoilers. This is a spoiler review, so if you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch the rest of this. But I'm going to just like my spoiler review of the film. So Aaliyah is never born in this film. She is in Lady Jessica, Paul's mother's womb throughout the entire film. So Denis Villeneuve, he condensed the timeline a lot because in the book, Dune takes place over the span of like 3 years. In the film adaptation, the timeline takes place over the span of like 10 months because women are usually pregnant at for like 9 or 10 months. So the timeline is over 10 months. As a book fan, I wish I could have seen Aaliyah, but at the same time, that's such a hard character to adapt. She is so weird and she is so campy. And someday there'll be a great adaptation of Aaliyah. I think they'll probably use motion capture in the next Dune adaptation in like 20, 30 years. But not right now. We're not completely there yet. Motion capture's gotten better in the last 10 years, but we're not quite there yet. But overall, that change was also great because it made the movie really, really weird. It was a very weird, strange thing to do, and it made the film more weird, and that's what Dune is. It's a weird book, it's a weird universe, and Frank Herbert was a weird writer, and Denis Villeneuve was able to capture that tone and that atmosphere and that very weird, strange vibe from the book. What's the other change? Paul and Zendaya do not have a kid. Timothée Chalamet plays Paul, Zendaya plays Chani. So Paul and Chani do not have their kid. In the book, they have a son in the book who is killed by the Harkonnens, and that's what makes Paul want to drink the water of life and finally become the Muad'Dib, the Messiah, and to get revenge for the death of his son. And so that's what prompts him to kill the Harkonnens. And in the book, Aaliyah is like 3 years old by the end of the book, and she's the one who kills the Baron Harkonnen using the gum Jabbar. In the movie, the Baron's death is like way more satisfying because Paul's the Muad'Dib, and he gets revenge for his father's death by killing Baron Harkonnen. And in the movie, it is revealed, which is a big twist in the book, that Jessica is the daughter of the Baron Harkonnen, which means Paul Atreides is the grandson of the Baron Harkonnen. So he is half Harkonnen and half Atreides in the book and also in the movie. In the movie, he is half Harkonnen, half Atreides. And so he is both Harkonnen and Atreides, and his mother, who is a Bene Gesserit, is a Harkonnen. So they got that twist, they got that big reveal. And so there were these changes that were made, but there was still emotional depth because the reason why Paul decides to take the water of life and to become the Messiah, the Muad'Dib, is because a large portion of Fremen get killed by a bombardment from the Harkonnens, and that's what influences him to go and drink the water of life and become the Messiah. So, that's like I guess a good enough reason, but I don't think that's impactful as his son being killed that makes him want to drink the water of life to become, the monster that he needs to become in order to kill the Harkonnen. But one thing I do love about this film is that it makes Paul's ascendancy to becoming the Messiah very, very sinister. It is very, very sinister the way it's done. This is definitely not a white savior story. I don't know why anybody would be saying that online and anybody would be saying that on TikTok. It's just a really stupid thing to say, and it really suggests that people definitely didn't watch the movie and also they definitely didn't watch the movie or read the book, because when you read the book and watch the film, it's not a white savior story. It's very much sinister what Lady Jessica does to try and brainwash and get as many people to follow Paul as she possibly can. And it's very sinister the way Paul becomes Paul Muad'Dib. And the music that's played when he becomes the Messiah, becomes Paul Muad'Dib, it's the same music that's used for the Harkonnens. It's used for the Harkonnens in the arena where Faid is first introduced, and he's like killing 3 Atreides men for his birthday, which is a celebration. It's very dark and very sinister music, and that same music is also used for the ascendancy of Paul Atreides, which is done in a really, really great way. But yeah, it's definitely not a white savior story. It's not a savior story at all. Dune is the one story where the good guys winning is absolutely the worst thing that could possibly happen for the Fremen. It's the worst thing that could happen. And that's what's so great about this film, is that it shows that Paul is not the hero. He's not the savior. He's more of an anti-hero. He does save the Fremen. He does unleash them. But at the same time, because of him, they become like this psychotic death cult that's going around doing this holy war, committing a jihad, which is mentioned in the book, the word jihad, not in the film, for political reasons, and also the fact you can't use Muslim words in certain countries, and Warner Brothers needs to make a lot of money off of this film, so it needs to play in every single Muslim country there is to make a lot of money. And I see this film doing very well at the box office. But yeah, the Fremen basically committed jihad, and they go to war, they do a holy war, and they kill millions of people, starve millions more, if not billions, and they enslave and subjugate planet after planet after planet, millions and millions of planets and billions of people. And so it's a warning. Frank Herbert's Dune was more of a warning to not worship and idolize your heroes. And that's the message that comes across in this film, even more so than in Frank Herbert's first book, because too many people felt that Paul was a hero and a messiah figure, and that's not what Frank Herbert wanted people to see or to view. So that's why he wrote Dune Messiah, which hits home the point that he was trying to make in the first Dune book that he didn't quite get across. But Denis Villeneuve definitely gets that across with Dune Part 2. This is a fantastic film. It's a great adaptation. There's some of the changes I didn't love. Like, I love that Chani is a different character. But my first viewing, I didn't love Chani walking away from Paul and basically breaking up with him when he becomes a messiah figure, because she didn't want him to become this figure. She didn't want the Fremen to be brainwashed and to be enslaved by idolatry, you know. And but she will come around, which Paul does say in the movie. She does eventually come around. And so I think Dune Messiah will be faithful to that part, because in Dune Messiah, Paul and Chani have 2 children, and she dies in childbirth. And then Paul, because of that, he ends up like isolating himself and walking away from everything, including Arrakis, and his children grow up and have to clean up his mess. And Leto Atreides II becomes the God Emperor of Doom, and basically fulfills Paul's wishes by making Atreides a broken household and destroying his father's legacy, which is really what his father wanted in the end. So we'll see that. Not in Dune Messiah. All that happens in Children of Dune and God Emperor of Dune, which I'll read hopefully this year. But yeah, I hope Dune Messiah gets adapted. If this film becomes a big hit, which I think it will, they'll definitely be making Dune Messiah. And this is a fantastic film, and it gets better with each viewing. I just got done with my 3rd viewing. This film is a masterpiece, and I look forward to my 4th, 5th, 6th, and maybe 7th viewing of the film. It's absolutely incredible. And these are my spoiler thoughts on Dune Part 2. It's truly a great, great film. I highly recommend it. See it on the biggest screen possible. And this is Brian J's Nerd Talk. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.